Hi, I'm Renarta Clanton Moyd. I'm the Communications Specialist with the Cumberland County Schools and your host of Get Connected. Now, during this monthly show, we highlight numerous educational topics that face today's student, educator, and parent in the Cumberland County Schools. Now, on August 25th, the school system opened its doors to about 45,000 students who follow the traditional calendar. They joined the more than 3,300 students who had returned to our year-round schools and early college programs earlier this summer. Now, as we start another year, the superintendent of the Cumberland County Schools plans to join us to discuss the school system's numerous initiatives, along with testing and budget information on this edition of Get Connected.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time.
One book could be the finest thing, helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Get Connected. We're chatting with Cumberland County Schools Superintendent Dr. Frank Till about the school system's new initiatives, testing, and budget information for the new school year. Dr. Till, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
All right. You know what? I shouldn't say welcome. This is practically your show anyway. You're on it with me so often. But it is good to be here for a new school year. And I see we've got a lot of great things coming up. Or going on rather. Now I know that, each year we have a kickoff,
Right.
just to kind of get people ready to go for the new year. What happened at this year's kickoff? Because it was on August 12th, correct?
Yeah, each year we have a leadership meeting where we bring everybody in and we bring the community in and teachers of the year. And we do several things to celebrate the system, talk about where we're going. And this year we talked about our quest for student success, but I also kind of dubbed it the listening, to prove that we are listening to our community, listening to our staff. And so we basically reported back on new initiatives we had based on listening. So for example, way back in January, we asked what we could do to improve achievement, and we found out that because of the transiency rate of our students, that we needed to bring our curriculum tighter together so that we were teaching more of the same thing. So when students moved around, and then in April when the military came and said it's important that we address the military child, guess what they said was the number one thing was the transiency rate. So those two things came together, and then as we began to talk, we found out that maybe we had low expectations for our children to be to school on time and stay in school. So we began to talk about an initiative to get people to school on time and talk about that to invest in their future and don't be late to school. And then that conversation led to the fact that people are checking their kids out of school. So I talked about the student day, and then we did that. Then we introduced our Teacher of the Year and our 10 finalists that we're going to crown and our finalists in a couple weeks. And then we celebrated our test scores. So it was a combination of things all in one place at one time.
That's good. About how many people were there?
500, approximately 500.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. And one thing that I did enjoy thoroughly was the video of regarding our tardiness video. And then as well as our quest video, which we'll see shortly. But I thought the whole event was just really good, and you could tell when people left, they felt like, okay, school year's ready, we're ready to go.
Yeah, I tell people that you have to be ready, and some people say, well, we got to get ready that first day of school. I said, no, we have to be ready before the open houses.
Oh, yeah.
And so when we bring our community, we've got to be ready, that we can't wait because we set expectations. And so I believe we're ready. The year rounds have already been in a while, and the college partnerships have been in a while, but we'll start rolling out the other 50,000 in a couple days, and it'll be exciting. And And we're having a meeting about being consistent with where we go. And so the lateness in the video, the young woman who stole the show.
Little Emma Dooney.
Yeah, she was great. And so it's really become the face of being on time.
Exactly.
And it's refocused on, we have so little time to teach our children that if we don't make them come to school, and we're talking to people such as Judge Steele and people such as that about how do we break this intergenerational poverty and break the cycle of poverty? Well, education is the key. And we can't educate kids when they're not there or they're late, and so we're setting that expectation.
That's good. Well, you know what? I mentioned a little earlier about us watching the video,
Okay.
The Quest for Student Success here in the Cumberland County Schools.
Correct.
Let's check that video out, okay?
Great.
All right, come on.
This school year, the Cumberland County Schools is embarking on new initiatives that will strengthen learning opportunities for all of our students. We have examined areas like standardized curriculum and pacing, and administering and utilizing assessments to eliminate barriers and maximize student achievement. We have also found better ways to communicate and provide collaboration options for teachers and administrators with real-time, anywhere, anytime learning. The Cumberland County Schools know that we have to prepare today's students to be tomorrow's leaders. So we have concentrated our efforts to integrate digital content and strategies into teaching and learning. If students aren't in the classroom, they are missing vital instruction and lessons that may derail their path to graduation. The CCS transiency rate for both military and non-military students moving around and in or out of the district is very high. The Transiency Task Force is on the job. They're working to improve the consistency of student experiences if they change schools within our district. The Curriculum and Instruction team is creating pacing guides for courses so teachers have guidelines on what curriculum to teach and when to teach it. There is also work being done to create consistency in grading to match the pacing. We cannot control transiency, but we can control the similarity of experience that students have between schools in our system. Once we get students into the classroom with a highly qualified teacher, it's time to make sure they are getting quality, rigorous lessons. The instructional coach is responsible for building teacher capacity to transform instruction. They facilitate and support instruction across the curriculum to promote student engagement, creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. They model a wide variety of instructional strategies, digital age resources, assessment tools, and also provide professional development and support for teachers. As members of a school's leadership team, instructional coaches facilitate collaborative groups of educators, always considering the learner's needs to effectively assess, plan, and teach our students. In this, the digital age, we have incorporated more ways to meet learners where they learn best and help teachers adapt to this new world. Cumberland County Schools University, or CCSU, is a bank of YouTube videos that have been created by all departments of the CCS. It provides on-demand information 24 hours a day, every day. This tool allows us to more efficiently train and update all CCS team members because the information is readily available and not dependent on physical locations or trainers. CCSU is updated frequently, so it will always have the most current and up-to-date content available. It's learning on your time when you're ready. There's a lot going on in the world of IT and media services. New this year is the ability to catalog website and video links using the Destiny Media software. Over 250 ebooks have been added to provide up-to-date professional digital resources. This software is web-based and accessible from anywhere at destiny.ccs.k12.nc.us. In the ERC Professional Library, you'll be able to access all the digital resources that are being used in system-wide professional development. It includes the CCSU site and links to professional presentations using ThingLink, TAC, and Blend Spaces. This is just another way to keep the information flowing and the learning going on, anyplace, anywhere, anytime. For the past 3 years, the CCS has been using teleconferencing technology to deliver advanced placement classes to high schools throughout the district. It has been very successful, but we always strive to move ahead with technology. Because of an increasing need to support the schools, as well as recognizing the power of collaboration between school sites, we restructured our teleconferencing systems to support CCS staff and students alike. Now everyone has the ability to communicate and collaborate without having to leave your school or office. This exciting new system is called the Global Communications Network. The network showpiece is the main Global Communications Lab at Central Office. The lab has 6 grand displays that allow up to 96 faces to be on the screen at one time. This means that large meetings can be conducted between central office, support staff, and a school all at the same time. The network also contains 15 smaller labs that are spread across the district and a desktop client available to every CCS employee. With the introduction of this awesome system, the collaborative possibilities are endless. The Cumberland County Schools is on a new adventure to adapt what we do to meet the new digital age students where they learn best, and failure is not an option. Is it a tough job? Sure it is, but the CCS team never turns away from a challenge. We cannot be stagnant in the old and antiquated. We are in the business of providing a quality education for all children. The quest of the Cumberland County Schools should and must always be student success.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until there's no secret that makes you smile. Reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this dangerous, but they are returned.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
This is my computer.
This is your computer. Let's go on the internet.
Let's go. Click it.
Yes.
Okay.
I cursor in between the R and the E. When I say dot, I want you to just push the period.
She's gonna love me all over again now.
That's it. Jamaica, here you come.
Here we go.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. And I did it by myself. Feel smarter.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Get Connected. Our guest is Superintendent of the Cumberland County Schools, Dr. Frank Till. Now, we're talking about the school system's new initiatives, testing, and budget information. And you know what, Dr. Till, having watched that video, it was a beautiful, wonderful video, good information, seeing that we really are on a quest for student success. Why is this so important? What are the expectations here? Talk to me about that.
Well, we truly believe that we in Cumberland County and the public school system is a major part of the success of our country and our students, and that if we invest in them at this age, you know, the preschool through 12th grade, that we give them a foundation for being successful, because the world's going to change. I mean, when I was in high school to now, or even people who graduated 4 years ago, how much the world has changed. So we've got to get them ready for success, and education is one of the ways we do it, with discipline. And so as a system, we also have to look, because, you know, as we grow older, sometimes the new change is not there. Like the millennials don't read newspapers and they don't read books all the way through. So to talk about a textbook or things such as that is not there. And then, so we look at our curriculum and we look at our teachers and how we do it, and realize that we have a transiency in our teachers and transiency in our students. And so we're trying to build a system that we can guarantee success for our students by being more codified. And so it leads to this discussion about flipping the curriculum, you know, our CCS University, where we have online classes, talking about the tests, giving fewer tests. That was a big thing we heard.
Oh yes, hallelujah.
Too many tests.
Yes, too many tests. It stresses not just, I'm sure, the children, but it stresses the parents.
Well, it stresses the parents. And one of my many jobs is I have to sign and agree every child who can't finish the test, why they can't do it, so they can be certified that, in fact, we tried to give them the test. And so each year, at the end of the school year, I spend long periods of time reading the reasons why kids haven't been able to complete tests, and probably 75% of the reasons a kid can't complete tests, they get sick during the test.
The anxiety.
And the anxiety and things such as that. And I heard from the parents about all the anxiety. I heard from the teachers about how we're wasting time. We looked at the tests and we weren't getting the information that we needed, so we were given tests that didn't matter and that they didn't give us information. So I give credit to Mr. Phipps, Ron Phipps, who got the principals and teachers together, and they developed and said if we did this, our testing would be aligned with our curriculum and we could have these conversations. So now we're doing that. And in the video it showed our global communication network, where we're able to talk to everybody. So we're going to be able to take that data and have a conversation real time by our telecommunication about where we're going. And we're going to be able to drill down to individual classrooms, individual students, and as a system, I think, do a better job of getting our children ready for the future.
That's good. And you know what, part of getting them ready for the future, which you kind of mentioned earlier, flipping the classrooms. Now, a lot of people are, you know, may have heard the phrase, but that's something that we've picked up this year. Explain what flipping the classroom means.
Well, I'll give you an example of the old way, and I'll give you an example of flipping the classroom.
Okay, go right ahead.
In the old way, we would have a staff development or something such as that, and you would come, and then we would proceed to take the first 20 minutes or an hour and go through a PowerPoint or a Prezi or something to give you information. But we would all be locked into getting the information at the same time.
Right.
So if something distracted you or something else like that, or you weren't in the mood that day or something like that, that hour could be wasted. And then we would come back to try to explain it. Well, adult learners really begin to disengage after 20 minutes. So
Well, anyone disengages after 20 minutes.
20 minutes, okay?
Ugh, okay.
So now what we do is, leading up to the meeting, we send you the information, the Prezi or the article, and we just expect you to have it read in your own time. So it could be, if you're like me, you would read it early in the morning. For you, maybe you'd read it late at night. Somebody else may read it the day before, or whatever, such as that, but you would be expected to read it before you came. And then we would actually start in that 20-minute period when we have your attention, really talking about the content. It would also give us a chance to get feedback from you as to the kinds of questions we should anticipate. So for example, in leadership now, I record my message to leadership a couple days.
Meaning our principals and administrators.
A couple days in advance, send it out to them, and then I answer questions when I get there. And if somebody needs more explanation, we're able to go. If I do a good job of explaining it, then I don't have to take the time to do it. Plus, it's archived now. If somebody needs to go back and say, what did Till say about this? It's archived, and then go back and do it. So that's, we call it flipping. So instead of like doing the homework at the end, we do the homework before we come.
Hey, that's a good thing. You know, something else I like is the CCS University.
Right.
And I like the idea of how our presenters, our curriculum specialists, our instructional coaches are recording that information. And then the teachers or whomever can go at whatever point in time to our YouTube channel, click on it and say, okay, well, I didn't know about it. Because I remember us having this conversation, I think last year, about, you know, how even as parents, there may be a math problem or something that you don't quite understand how to explain to your child. But then if you go to the university and they're discussing that, you can go click on there, get that information yourself before you actually sit down and engage with that child.
Right. In the old days, when I went to school, the teacher would tell us how to do it and send us home to do it. And if I didn't remember, I'd be home.
Yeah, you'd be home.
And then my parents would have to try to figure out in the book. Well, now with the university, if you didn't get it, you just simply go on the YouTube channel, the district's YouTube channel, and you get to see the same presentation again. And if you see it, need to see it 3 times, you need to see it 4 times, you can see it as many times until you get it. And so if you get it the first time, so it's actually a way to do it. Plus it allows us, if, for example, you can't make it to the staff development or you're a new teacher, we now can say, well, I'm sorry, you missed all that stuff we did last summer, you're just gonna have to wing it. No, we can say, if you go to the university, the Cumberland County YouTube University, you can go back and pick it up. And our teachers now can do it whenever they're sitting around on Sunday afternoon, they can look at that and we can then send it to the parents and say, here's what we're doing.
Anytime, anywhere.
Anytime, anywhere.
Hey, I like that.
24/7.
And you know what, something else I like that we're adopting is, or we've adopted rather, is our work perks program, which is our employee incentive program. Talk to us and tell us about that.
Well, we started talking about this a couple years ago and didn't get it off the ground. And thanks to people such as yourself and the communication staff, we began to talk about how, you know, the races haven't been there and some things such as that. And we were talking about a way to get our community involved. We were talking about that our budget's about $500 million. We have close to 6,200 employees. And so everybody said shop local. So we began to say, what if we how do we shop local? And we began to talk about discounts. And we found out there were some informal agreements already out there at some oil places and things like that. So we began to formalize it, put together a sticker, and it's actually growing where people are saying to our staff, you come in, show your ID card, and we're going to give you a discount. And I've heard some examples where people have had veterans discounts and people are giving us a better discount. And I was worried about, well, you know, if I get a hotel discount, if I don't stay at a hotel in Fayetteville, what does it matter? No, it's a national chain that's giving us discounts nationally or internationally. So I hear examples of people saving big dollars on things that they've taken for granted. It's starting to grow because the business want us to come. We've got little business cards, and people are out, if you go to your
Passing
hair
along.
salon, you say to them, can I get a discount? If they don't, well, then you can go down the street, and things such as that. So people are, our best salesmen are our people.
Exactly. And we've seen where the program has just grown word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
I mean, it seems like every day a new business is calling our office and asking, hey, how can I be a part of this? It's free advertising for the
Right.
business as well.
Right.
I mean, 63,000 or 100 people.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing.
Well, and what it says too is with about 85 cents out of every dollar going to our employees, in their pockets, you figure that's close to $400 million that's going in their pockets, and the more they spend locally, the better the economy grows. And so it's a way for us to reaching back and being a partner and using our economic power to help businesses in the community.
Right, and they be able to show appreciation, which we appreciate.
Right.
That really means a lot.
And it says to our teachers, all 6,200, that the community cares about us.
Exactly. And not just teachers, all of our employees.
All of our employees.
Exactly. Now, you know what, Dr. Till, I'm looking at the clock on the wall. I see our time is almost ticking down. Wanted to talk with you briefly as well about the fight in Raleigh. What's going on with that as far as, what we're looking at? I know we've already discussed testing, but what's going on as far as our budget is concerned?
Well, of course, when this airs, it could be the budget is resolved, but as we're recording this, we don't know what our budget is. And so we've suspended driver's education to actually create some dollars so that if in fact the TAs are cut, we would have money for TAs.
TAs meaning teacher assistants.
Yeah, thank you. So we're doing that, and so we're adjusting, but people ask, what are you gonna do? We're gonna start the school year, or we started the school year with an anticipation that our budget is exactly what we need, and we'll adjust. But we've been committed to our people, and I tell people we're becoming almost the poster child. Our TAs drive our buses. So if they wipe out our teacher assistants, we still have to drive our buses. And so we'll be doing some things, and so this may be a year that we make some adjustments, but I think we're gonna pretty close to stay where we were and just have to absorb maybe some extra dollars.
Okay. And any last words about this school year that we're facing, 2015, 2016?
I'm really excited about this school year. I think our staff has worked hard to make changes. You always need to make changes. The world's changing. The high expectations around tardiness and things such as that, the expectation around testing. I'm just very positive that we're moving in the right direction, and I'm excited about the school year and excited for the results that are going to come. I'm very proud of our staff, and they're moving in the right direction.
All right, that's a good thing. All right. Well, on behalf of the Cumberland County School System, we want to thank you for tuning into this edition of our show and for giving us a chance to help you get connected. Until next time.